Can you hear me now? 43 people watching. Can you guys hear me? Let's ask a question. Let's do a question here since you guys can hear. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let me hear something. Yes or no? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? No? Just realized that you've been in the... Yes, you can hear me. Perfect. Okay, excellent. So on this video that I recorded on, wow, I think it was on Friday. Yeah, on Friday. It's this video right here. Let's, I'm going to pull it up real fast. Let's wait for this thing to stop. I got so much, and I put out this type of disclaimer last year, but I got so much, I guess, emails asking me for this form. I figured, you know what? Let me, not now. You can't hear me? Yes or no? Let me get a thumbs up if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay, good. All right. So I got so many emails asking me to send this form that I figured, you know what? Let me do a quick little video on it, and let's talk about this, especially if you're in the HVAC industry. This is really important. You need to explain to your end users, the client, the homeowner, the business owner, whoever that is, you need to explain to them these 5 things, to really give them professional advice and professional service. All right. So we went back to this service call that we haven't been to since 2019. In 2019, we added 6.2 pounds of R410A to this 2.5 ton AC system, that Luxair, right? And in the interim between then and now, another company was out there and also added some more 410A. So we're just giving this body, this system, a blood transfusion, but we're not fixing the leak. And at the end of the day, you can bring a camel to water, but you can't make it drink, right? So if your air conditioning system is leaking and your air conditioning guy, your AC guy says, okay, we're going to pump you up with some more gas, quote unquote Freon. I was watching this Instagram guy, who's a local guy, another plumbing, a heating and air conditioning guy in my neighborhood. He keeps calling it gas. It's not a gas, bro. Call it refrigerant. You want to be professional. You want to be this great, Instagram guy and, be an influencer. At least be professional. But whatever, to each his own. I guess it works for him and his customers, but he's also the guy who puts Teflon tape on the lower the cutoff probe. Whatever, it is what it is. So if your air conditioning system is leaking and your AC guy or gal isn't telling you these options, which we're about to go over right now, you need to find another company. Okay. And if you're in the HVAC trades, you do run service calls or you do any kind of service, you need to make your customers aware of these options. Let's go over it real quick, right? You go to a service call and the system's low in refrigerant. Okay. You've diagnosed that's low in refrigerant. What do? Well, you tell Mr. and Mrs., Jane's, John and Jane Doe, listen, there's 5 things I could do for you. 5 things, right? To how we can handle this. And I did this last year with the video. I'm doing this again because now we have 135,000 subscribers. It just keeps growing, astronomically. Right now we have let's see. I think it's 100 and it went up a lot over the past couple days. 135,283 subscribers. So thank you very much, guys. This time last year, I think we had 30,000 subscribers. Thank you. I'm humbled. I'm beyond humbled. This is amazing. And who would have thought I'd be going to Pittsburgh and installing a $25,000 HVAC system for free to a needy family? Who would have thought that? But who would have thought that I would be on YouTube talking to you guys about this on a Sunday evening at 5:30? Okay. When's the pool party? Relax. We're talking about 5 things to do right now. The pool party's coming, okay? There's a lot of logistics involved in it. Okay, Clyde? That's when the pool party is. Steve Lev calls it gas. Okay, I don't care. It is what it is. It works for him. All right. So, Mr. Doe, the reason why your air conditioning system isn't working is you have a refrigerant leak. What do you mean, Mikey Pipes? That means, picture you have a nail in your car tire, right? And unless you remove the nail, adding more air is just giving you some temporary comfort. It's like instant gratification. Right? So unless we take care of the nail, this is what we can do, right? Option number 1, we can do nothing. Pay me for my time, and if you don't want the R22 or R410A or 407C or whatever gas you have in the system, if you don't want it at X amount of dollars per pound or whatever the flat rate is that you charge per pound, you do nothing and pretend I wasn't even here, but you pay me. Okay? Option number 2. You add a refrigerant. Okay. Well, can I, Mikey Pipes, can I just add a little bit? I was like, okay, let's say, you your kid has this toy, it runs on a 9-volt battery, and the 9-volt battery only is not working anymore, and it gives you, 2 volts. And your kid's screaming at you, Daddy, fix my toy. I was like, well, you're going to put a battery that's 6 volts instead? The toy's going to be sluggish, like a turtle, right? Chris, what is this? You're a little secretively. I hope your legal issues are going well. I'd rather not talk about it. You know what? We're all good. Okay, let's leave it at that. All right. So if you add refrigerant, I got to add the right amount to bring your temperatures and pressures of the system up to where it should be. Okay, that's option number 2. So let's go back to number 1. If your system is providing some cooling, what if I do nothing? All right, well, this could be a very expensive mistake for several reasons. Number 1, you'll have excessive operating costs, right? If the system doesn't have the right amount of refrigerant in the line set and the coils, your unit's going to use more electricity because it's not going to turn off. It's going to keep running indefinitely. You're going to have a lower life expectancy on your equipment. The compressor will have a shortened lifespan because that motor, that hermetically sealed motor, is going to work longer at a higher temperature, right? And since you have, this nail in your car tire, eventually there's going to come a point where the compressor is going to try to suck in the atmosphere through that hole or through those leaks that you have, right? So the moisture that's in, the H2O, right? It could enter into the system or will eventually enter into the system, and that moisture will damage the compressor. Those are facts. Okay. So what about if we just add refrigerant? Well, How about, you have a nasty gouge on your leg, on your arm, your head, right? And you need, a pint of blood, but we need to stitch you up. I'm like, well, I don't want you to stitch me up. Just give me some more blood. I was like, all right, if I give you more blood, it's just gonna leak out of you again, right? The same way it is. It's just gonna leak out. It's only a temporary remedy. And when that refrigerant that we added, that replacement refrigerant leaks out, which could be a couple hours, a couple days, maybe a month, maybe two, maybe a season, who knows? But eventually the system will stop working again. Everyone with me? Let me get a thumbs up. And by the way, in case you're wondering, in the top right-hand corner of your screen, there's a QR code. That QR code brings you to the Mikey Pipes Philanthropy charitable organization donation page on PayPal. In case you don't know, or if you're new to this channel, when my channel hit 100,000 subscribers on the Mikey Pipes YouTube channel, I decided that what other better way than to give back than to actually give back to those who can't afford plumbing, heating, and air conditioning services in their home. And the Mikey Pipes Philanthropy YouTube channel is the channel where 100% of all proceeds, ad revenue, sponsorships, donations, are used to, provide those services, those free and it's all been free so far to those who can't afford it. Just a couple weeks ago, we went to Vandergrift, Pennsylvania, which is about an hour and a half outside of Pittsburgh. Peter and I flew out there, and we met two great gentlemen, Justin and Craig from Precision Heating and Cooling Services. They're based out of Plum, Pennsylvania. And with the help of Bosch Thermal Technology, we installed the equivalent of a $25,000 system in this 800 square foot home in Vandergrift, Pennsylvania, for absolutely no charge whatsoever, because they couldn't afford to replace it. And that's what we do. So if you're interested, scan that QR code. And if you find this PDF, that it's going to be the link in the description box down below. If you find it useful, I would appreciate if you could donate to the charity. It is a tax deductible donation. My organization is a registered and IRS recognized 501c3 public nonprofit organization. So I really appreciate it. Okay, back to the 5 things. So we can attempt to, number 3. We can attempt to repair the leak with a sealant. Okay, so will this sealant fix the leak? Well, no. There's no guarantee it's going to work, but injecting sealants into the system may or may not, stop the leak, depending on the size and the type of the leak. But after the sealant is installed, injected into the system, the AC must run for a minimum of 1 hour. And if the sealant does fail, the refrigerant will leak out once again, and the system will stop working. Okay. Hi, Isaiah. Thank you. Hi, Mikey Wipes. What's your preferred thermostat for the Bosch? My preferred thermostat for the Bosch is the BCC 100. And by the way, hashtag love Bosch, ladies and gentlemen. Customer are shocked R410A is not the same price as a can of R134A that you can buy at AutoZone. How much is it per pounds? You guys are free to talk about what you guys charge for refrigerant in the comment section down below, but it is my YouTube policy, from day one, subscriber one, that I try not to talk about pricing. Once in a while, it just comes out in the normal course of conversation because I record, real-time service calls on this channel. But feel free to talk amongst yourselves what you guys charge. But there's a right, every demographic is different. Every geographic is different. George can charge in Illinois is different than what, George can charge in South Carolina or New York or Maine, so keep that in mind. All right. We good? Okay. So remember, if we repair a leak with a sealant, there's no warranty or guarantee. And on my Service Pal invoice, I use this mobile dispatching app called Service Pal. And I'm going to show you a service call and how it works on it. I'm going to create a service call. Let's do the office. Let's create that one right there. and central AC. I just want to show you something. I just want to show you what this looks like on my invoice to my clients. Okay, so here is a ship. There we go. Here is my iPad, and there is my air conditioning service invoice. Invoice this is the template. Okay, so when I type in a line item called sealant, for example, why is it not there? No. So let's see. Let's when I type in a line item, you're going to see there's a line item. It says there's no warranty or guarantee on refrigerant, leak search, or repair, unless or the replacement of refrigerant unless a repair is made. And we're going to get back to that in a second, right? I'm just going to read some of these comments. R22 is 200 to 450 a pound in Arizona. R410A is around 150 to 300 per pound. It's an insane difference company to company. Wow. Yeah, it's quite crazy. There are some companies in my area that 410A is going between 100 to 300 a pound here in New York, metropolitan area. All right, back to the option number 4. So the most professional advice that we can give people, depending on the age of the system, if it's a fairly new system, is that number 4, we can perform a leak search and then repair or replace the leaking part. What does that mean? So if system is very low in refrigerant, um, if you could try to recover whatever's left and then add nitrogen, maybe you can audibly hear the system. I use Daniel now uses the Backrack H10 electronic leak detector. There's also other assortment rays. You can use a thermal imaging camera because it'll pick up that temperature difference as a picture on your screen. But why is having a leak search perform a better option? Because the leak search will show where the leak is occurring. And for routine leaks, we can make the repair. So, for example, it's in the refrigeration line sets, connecting the equipment, the indoor and outdoor equipment in a traditional split system, right? We can make that repair. And I further go say on this form is that for complex leaks, such as those in the coil, it may be more cost effective to replace that part or replace the entire system. Daniel went on Thursday to a long-term client of ours where last year we found system low in refrigerant. I believe it was towards the end of the season. The homeowner elected to us to add more refrigerant to the system and to buy us ourselves some time, and figured next year, the following year, we will look for the leak and make repairs. Anyway, the system is 11 years old now. It's a Rain Prestige system. That's the brand. That's the model outside, with an RBHP indoor air handling unit. Those are those low boys. We installed it vertically. It runs on 110 volts, I believe, and the leaks in the evaporator coil. We quote the replacement of the evaporator coil, but I also advise the customer, I was like, listen, the system is 11 years old. This is going to be an expensive repair. You may want to consider replacing the entire system. So number 5, last but not least, should I consider replacing my entire system or your entire system? Okay. I was taught years ago by my employer at the time that there's a saying, and age justifies replacement. If it's on R22, let me tell you something. We're not replacing coils in R22 systems. And yes, I know some guys out there will put in the drop in the 407C, whatever it is. But no, that is not the professional install. I don't care what you say. The compressor is designed to work with R22 as the only refrigerant. No other gas is that compressor compatible with, and that is the professional opinion. So if you have a system that's pre-2010 and is running on R22, that system needs to be replaced. And you leave it at that. You give them options, give them good, better, best as far as different options for as far as efficiency on new equipment. That's what we offer, good, better, best. The good is the 13 SEER, sorry, the 14 SEER, Bryant and or Carrier performance. Then we go to 16 SEER, and then we go to the Bosch and the Carrier Infinity. Those are the high end, and which are I consider best. So back to the question, should I consider replacing my entire system? And depending on the age and condition of your current system and the cost to repair the leak, the wisest choice may be to replace it with a new higher efficiency system. And this is where you drop more knowledge. There may be various rebates and incentives, credits, making this option more inviting, more affordable. If you're not offering financing in your normal course of presenting these options, oh wow, Bear Lamp, thank you so much for the $2.20 Canadian donation. We're gonna make that right up there, make that pop, baby. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. If you want to email me, Mike at mikeypipes.com, I will send you some stickers. I have these international first class mail stickers. Stamps. See? And I'll send you some stickers that look like this. There they are. Making the trades great again. If you want some stickers, email Mike at mikeypipes.com. There's version 1.0. If you ain't testing, you're guessing. I got a few more of these. Hacks bring me stacks. Right? And if you're still feeling the holiday mood, St. Mike, happy holidays. So if you're not offering financing to your customers, your clients, you're potentially leaving money on the table. Now, I am not a fan of offering, 60 months interest-free financing because at the end of the day, all these financing options are being the burden of offering those are being borne or being recovered by the consumer, the customer. If your company, and correct me if I'm wrong, and this is facts though, if your company is offering 60 months interest-free financing through traditional lenders like Synchrony Financial, Wells Fargo, someone is paying that 20% to the bank. And that someone is typically the end user, which is the homeowner, right? So if your $10,000 install, right, $2,000 of that is going to the bank to offer that 20, that 5-year interest refinancing. So I don't do that. I think that's more like predatory lending. It's extreme. It's extreme. I thought about doing it, but it's just not. So my company offers at most 18 months interest refinancing, and once in a blue moon, depending on promotions and offers through the bank that we deal with, which is Synchrony, we'll offer up to 24 months. And that's all done by building the processing fees. It's like a credit card into your selling price. So if you're selling equipment for, let's say, $100, I'm just using an easy number, right? If you're selling a job for $100 and you're doing, taking a credit card, right? You should be negotiating a good rate with your credit card merchant processor, but you should factor in 3% of that is going to the bank right away, right? When you go to the bagel store, right, or now some restaurants are doing this nonsense, they're adding a technology fee or convenience fee where they're adding 3.5% to your tab or to your bill. And I'm not a fan of that, right? So, 18 months is what my company offers. You can go to pipedoc.net. You can apply online, right directly with the bank, and get a decision in seconds. And it works. It works very well. The majority of my clients don't go that route with financing. They usually pay with a credit card or with cash. And if they offer me cash or a check, I will offer them a cash discount of 3% off the proposal that we gave on installations, things like that. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I want to end this video. I have about 15 minutes before my dinner arrives. If you want, let's do some Q&A. Let me go back up to the top here. Let's read. Okay. Again, thank you to Bear Lamb for the $2.20 Canadian sticker. Thank you very much. Joe to Toe, hi. Stickers are tits. Thank you. Hacks don't repair. They sell new systems that are needed. So, yeah, that is correct. I've seen it. I see it all the time in the summertime and in the wintertime, where another company, condemned a few weeks ago, maybe about a month ago. The boiler was condemned, and I don't think I have a video on it, but the pigtail was clogged on a steam boiler. So yeah. Are you against cap and go repairs? Like what? Tap, fill up and go? No, if I've done it, and I do it. Again, I can bring the camel to water. I can't make it drink. If the homeowner doesn't want to approve, looking for the leak or adding a sealant or adding the dye, or if the system is old, then I can't force them. Just give them the options. If it's an R22 and they want to pay hundreds of dollars a pound for R22 with no warranty or guarantee, and they're signing that disclaimer, if they want to give me the money, knock yourself out. All right. I only got Green Mountain because emergency only option solution. It's new, it works, but I don't plan on keeping it long. I hear you. Green Mountain is a coffee brand where I am. Yeah. Costanza, it's a coffee brand where I am as well. What percentage of heating systems in New York City area codes have you been installed? There, in my estimation, there's probably a good 400,000 to 600,000 wall hung units in a 5-mile radius from where I live. It's pretty impressive, right? All right. Hi from Delaware. Joe the Toe. I was a sub from back in the day, dude. You probably don't remember. All good. Glad you're still crushing it. This is already asked and answered. We don't talk about pricing. Where's Stoley? Stoley! Stoley! Here he comes. Stoley, come here. What about flatline condemned systems? Add nitrogen to it, and let's look for the leak. If it's in a coil, I could, if you really want to rig it, let's replay the coil, but you need a new coil. Stoley, come here. Come here, Stoley. Come here. Oh, you're Gigi. Where's Stoley? There's Stoley. Come here. Well, Stoley first, and then Gigi. There's Stoley. Hi, Stoley. Who's a good boy? Okay. Now it's time for Gigi's turn. Come here, Gigi. Oh, you're a big girl. There's Gigi. Say hi, Gigi. Gigi. Say hi. See? And Stoley. I'm sorry, Stoley. Both just can't sit up here. What about, if you look for the leak, bro, in a flatline system, it's a lot of Kevin Durant's. Yep, that's right, baby. Yes. Have you had a lot of problems with new ream, water heater, gas valves? So my company is an ASP, an authorized service provider for ream, as well as A.O. Smith. We are seeing a usually a high amount of defective gas valves on their gas-fired equipment. Isn't Stoley type of Italian bread? No. Stoley is technically he's a mini golden doodle, just like Gigi, but he's we call him a mini golden retriever. Love that dog. Thank you. Okay, but it's a type of alcohol for your it's vodka. ECast, Mikey effing Pipes, 1 year apprentice, learning off your videos. Thank you very much. What's your thoughts on the new Calgon Easy Seal? I happen to love it. Down the block from me. All right. Oh, wow. Look at this. One quick EG8, $10 super sticker. Thank you so much. Wow. Really appreciate that. That's awesome. I'm going to star that. Pin that right there. All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. In the description box down below, Mike, what do you think of California? Let's leave politics out of it. I had a good time when I was in LA and Bel Air and Beverly Hills a few weeks ago. But I don't like earthquakes. Big down. I don't like earthquakes. Do some more commercial videos. So I don't get a lot of commercial calls. I have a handful, a couple handfuls of commercial clients, for rooftop units, things like that. But we do mostly residential. So I'll, as the commercial calls come in and we go on them, yeah, we'll do that. What did you do at the Merchant Marine Academy? I was a steam fitter apprentice. Which new guy? So long, Mikey in chat. Joe the Toe, thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate that. Get your Jenny serviced after its run last week. I'm gonna send Daniel here next week to if we have some time to change the oil and things like that. And it's been about a year or so, so we got to change the oil in that Generac. All right. So if you're interested in this PDF of the 5 options, there's a link in the description box down below. If you find this helpful in the course of running your business, please consider donating. It's a tax deductible donation to the Mikey Pipes Philanthropy charitable organization. I really appreciate it. And it helps us, with the reach and more, we can service more people. And if you know someone who needs some help, can't afford plumbing, heating, or air conditioning services, reach out to me, Mike at mikeypipes.com. The goal is not, to give give everyone get a free job, but if they can afford something, let's have them pay something. If they really can't afford it, let's do that for free. And I'm going to work with manufacturers like Bosch, for example, happens to be a sponsor of not only the Mikey Pipes channel, but also the Mikey Pipes Philanthropy channel. So I appreciate it, guys. Who would have thought, if you asked me a year ago that I would be doing this, I thought you'd be nuts. So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. We can see you guys tomorrow for Monday's video on some service calls. We got air conditioning service calls and installs lined up all week. We're busy. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you wanted some stickers, email me, Mike at mikeypipes.com. I got an email from Corbin Stewart. We'll send him out some stickers tomorrow. And also consider donating. There's a QR code right up there, top left-hand corner. Donate to the organization. Thank you so much, guys. Be well. God bless. Stay safe.